President Trump about to make good on his oldest and most famous campaign promise?
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
One of the most famous moments in American history, sadly, didn't come to fruition in the first administration, but may come to fruition now that we know that George Soros worked with the Hillary Clinton campaign in order to produce a document filled with Russian disinformation, paid for through Russian spies and Russian oligarchs in order to rig the 2016 elections. The exact opposite of the story that you've been told. The Democrats did it, and now they've been caught. Soros' alleged ties to the Russiagate exposed in declassified annex of the Durham report. And this is, of course, the report by Special Prosecutor John Durham that contained all the good stuff, and they've kept it hidden until now. Credible foreign sources indicating the FBI and the Obama administration would play a role in spreading the salacious Trump-Russia narrative written by Russian spies before the Bureau ever launched its probe, were allegedly tied to George Soros' Open Society Foundation, according to explosive documents released on Thursday morning. The appendix to former special counsel John Durham's report released by the Senate Judiciary Committee sheds light on on what Sharon Chuck Grassley has described as one of the biggest political scandals and cover-ups in American history. CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, and Kash Patel, and Pam Bondi worked in coordination to declassify all of them. Before its official release, sources told Fox News exclusively that some of the contents in the appendix, including the U.S. intelligence community, credible foreign sources indicating that the FBI would play a role. The FBI would merchandise and launder this false information in order to kneecap President Trump. Look at these two. I mean, they first off, they look like each other. Has anybody ever seen George Soros and Hillary Clinton in the same room together? And then also, they really look like each other when you read the documents. Let's go. These Durham Annex files are disturbing. The Clinton campaign, coordinated with Obama administration, the media, and the intelligence community, wittingly coordinated to demonize Trump and blame them for the DNC hack. They were all in on it. Look at this. Long-term affair to demonize Trump. Good time for a post-convention bounce. Later, the FBI will put more oil on the fire. Outcome is far from clear, as the American people are keen on their own woes, and Hillary is hardly good looking as far as credibility is concerned. Anyway, things are ghastly for U.S.-Russia relations. The smoking gun, right here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that inside of the Durham Annex, that mega donor George Soros and his team knew the whole Clinton plan for Russiagate hoax 4 days before the FBI opened up the probe, and so did Obama, Bremen, and Comey. So it was a criminal conspiracy. It was a seditious conspiracy. Hillary Rodham Clinton, right here, approved the idea that Trump and Russian hackers hampering the U.S. election, that should distract people from her own missing emails. Especially if the affair goes to the Olympic level. The point is making Russia play a U.S. domestic issue. Say something like critical infrastructure threat for the election would feel a menace since both POTUS and Vice President have acknowledged the fact that the intelligence community would speed up searching for evidence that is still unavailable. Look at that. Wow. And now they're saying that CrowdStrike effectively is a Democrat operational firm. We'll get into that in just a second. Long-awaited Durham Annex has been released. As Catherine Harris, she's the best. A lot to unpack. Focus on pages 4 and 5. These 2 pages you should not miss. 2016 memorandum on Russia alleges coordination between DNC leadership, Clinton, and outside groups to damage Trump and suggests foreknowledge. Look at that. In relation to consensus reached among the Democrat Party leadership regarding the candidacy of Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama sanctioned the use of all administrative levers to remove possibly negative effects of the FBI investigation. Now, the case is the Clinton Foundation email correspondence in the State Department. Look at that. Wow. Clinton staff supports special services and revelations of business relationship between Trump and the Russian mafia. All of it laid bare right here in these documents. All of it laid bare. And here it is. With regard to the discussion of the last paragraph of the memorandum, the salacious revelations that Clinton staff were preparing with support from special services, in the words of FBI linguists, translated special services, Russian words that analysts would say more broadly, intelligence and law enforcement community. So here they are. Here they are coordinating with the intel community in order to push Russian disinformation and to slander and smear President Trump. Another key record from the Durham Annex, page 11. Hillary Rodham Clinton approved the idea that Trump and Russian hackers hampering a U.S. election to distract from her own missing emails. Analysis, well-versed in sensitive intelligence collection, stated their best assessment was that the email memorandum were likely authentic. Russians had, in fact, hacked the email. So it's all fake. It's all an op, all of it. It's all an op. It's all right here in the documents. This is Bombshell. What will happen next? I mean, if we now know, we know that the Steele dossier cost a lot of money. Who paid for it? Was it the Soros Foundation? I mean, you're simply left to assume. I mean, since they're noted here, declassified intel ties Soros to Clinton Russiagate plan to put more oil on the fire. Newly declassified so-called Clinton plan intelligence included intercepted communications from a George Soros ally, which suggested Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign against Donald Trump was plotting a long-term affair to demonize Trump by linking him to Putin. And the Clinton campaign expected that the FBI will put more oil on the fire. How could they say things like that about the FBI? Isn't the FBI an independent law enforcement agency? The revelations, including intercepted purported communications from Leonard Bernardo, a top official at George Soros' Open Society Foundation, and communications by Clinton's foreign policy advisor, Julian Smith. Oh, there we go. That's the Julie in the email. Provide new insight into the information the U.S. intelligence community received just before the FBI launched its politicized crossfire hurricane. The bombshell allegations about the plot falsely linked Trump to Putin in an effort to distract from the Clinton classified email scandals are found in the formerly classified but now largely unredacted appendix of John Durham's report. The intelligence received by the U.S. intel community, including the FBI, included information and analysis from purported claims of Bernardo, which detailed an alleged plot with the approval of Clinton herself. So now you're able to see the whole thing laid bare. And you can see here, George Soros Open Society, Leonardo Bernardo, the FBI will advance our agenda. Look at that. There it is. The media analysis on the DNC hacking appears solid. It's an important story because it would be the first time the state deliberately uses infiltration, a publication of data to interfere in the U.S. election. Same time, politicization is on the table. Look at this. The whole thing was an op. The FBI will put more oil on the fire. So they're able to say with certitude what the FBI is about to do. That means they're ordering the FBI to do these things. Wow. Hillary Clinton personally approved the idea. This is crazy. You've got to drag them all in. We had Tulsi Gabbard on our show, and she just talked through this with us. It's wild. Just really quickly here. The more we learn about the origins of a Russiagate probe, the more it appears that law enforcement and intelligence agencies were weaponized against President Trump. Americans deserve maximum accountability and transparency. This is John Kennedy, a pretty powerful senator, talking about George Soros. George Soros has never been deposed. He's never been called in, subpoenaed. Republicans are such babies when it comes to that kind of stuff. Got to push for it now. Hillary Rodham Clinton approved. Should distract people. The point is making Russians play U.S. domestic issue. Evidence is regrettably still unavailable. The absence of direct evidence, CrowdStrike and Threat Connect will supply the media. Scam from the very beginning, says Senator Mike Lee. Absolutely devastating. CrowdStrike isn't an IT firm. It's a Democrat Party protection racket caught running interference for Hillary while cosplaying cybersecurity expert, burn it all down and salt the earth. CrowdStrike, of course, was called in when the DNC email hack happened, and everyone has long suspected that they were just running a cover-up operation. They weren't even given access to the servers at the DNC. Hillary put this out knowing that it was all set up. She was involved. Arrest Hillary. This is all part of it. This was part of the op. Computer scientists have uncovered a covert server linking Trump administration to a Russian bank. This is wild. There's no getting away from it now. The whole thing was an op, and Tulsi Gabbard was breaking it down on our show. She called it treasonous, and she says it's not a viewer interpretation. It's in the documents. We just showed you those documents, ladies and gentlemen, and now we'll show you Tulsi Gabbard explaining. This is real, and they're cooked. Here we go. Director, you've called these actions treasonous. Stephen Miller has called them seditious conspiracy. If you lay out the fact pattern, specifically given the Durham annex and what we've heard reported is going to be in it, you'll find that Christopher Steele was working for sanctioned Russian oligarchs, that many of his sources were Russian spies. This is a document of foreign interference, and that is definitionally treason. They were using foreign agents in order to affect and undermine our election. It just isn't the narrative that Donald Trump was doing that. That's been pushed on us for years. It was the opposite. Correct? It was actually Hillary Clinton and the establishment at the FBI using foreign intelligence in a treasonous act against our own government. Am I getting that correctly?
You are, yes. And the interesting thing here is, again, I want to point back to the documents we released because people can go and read for themselves. Go to odni.gov. There you can click through and you can read the documents for themselves. This is not my view or my opinion or my interpretation. Go and read the documents yourself. Look at the emails that were sent from James Clapper's assistant out to the intelligence community, communicating that this assessment will be created per the president's direction. Read the documents for yourself. And then you can see, as you go through the documents, how in the months leading up to the election, the intelligence community consistently assessed that Russia had neither the intent nor the capability to be able to influence or swing the election for Donald Trump. And that's a critical statement there. because in the assessment that President Obama ordered, and you'll again see in the documents with great detail how he wanted an assessment that delivered intelligence that details how Moscow tried to help Trump get elected, not if, but how. And then DNI Clapper and CIA Director John Brennan delivered for President Obama through this manufactured intelligence assessment, again, based on discredited information and shoddy intelligence that was weaponized